Hello and welcome back. This is Dr. Diane, and this is Too Soon to Stop, the How to Reinvent Yourself channel for people like myself who have no desire to retire. Our passion is to continue to help others become the best version of themselves. I'm excited to be with you today. Let's get started. Tactical empathy. What is a tactic? It is a method of accomplishing a task. What is empathy? It is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to really relate where they're coming from. Why is this important? Because if you are not connecting with your listener, no matter what message you are trying to get across, it will fall on deaf ears. Even if it will really help the listener, they won't listen, and therefore they will lose out on an opportunity to change and grow that can potentially change their life for the better. So why is that? A rational mindset, you, cannot manage an emotional brain, the listener. You have to understand where their fears are coming from and why they are fearful before you can change their mind. We all react to a plethora of deeply held fears. Fears from our childhood, traumatic and embarrassing events during our teens, less than desirable outcomes professionally, not to mention all the doubt, sleepless nights, etc. about finding a compatible mate. If we are fortunate enough to finally meet that special someone, then we worry about if our love interest will feel the same about us. Finally, there is peer pressure, trying to fit in. Fitting in with the right crowd that will help us to achieve our goals while hoping others will like us enough to even want to be around us. We live in fear a lot, starting from childhood. So what's a human supposed to do with this fear? Do we allow it to paralyze us and wrap ourselves up in bubble wrap? As ridiculous as this sounds, many live like this metaphorically. People frequently find themselves stagnant while others who started out at the same point as them excel. This is what happens when unresolved doubts are not dealt with in a courageous manner that will allow us to move forward and thrive instead of surviving. So where do you go to get the courage to move forward? Well, it comes from knowing yourself and what you want. This is extremely important in order to have others relate to us. What do you want to do with your life? The Bible talks about kings and queens of a kingdom. Have you ever thought that you are in charge of your own kingdom? I'm not talking about a delusional, self-centered manner. It's up to each of us and every one of us to decide what we want to do with our lives. Of course, there are plenty of people around to tell us what they think we should do with our lives, but really it's up to us. Allowing others to tell us what to do while talking us out of our life's dreams and goal is still actually a decision. So educating ourselves and moving on what we desire and are compassionate about is our decision to make. No matter what happens, no one can tell you what you can be compassionate about. It is based on our own complex way we interpret our environment, and everyone is different. This is why, when listening to others speak on their compassion and dreams, it is imperative that you do not minimize or ridicule the individual you are trying to help. They already feel very vulnerable about what they are sharing and are allowing you in a special place in their heart that few are allowed. So the listener's dreams must be handled with great care. The listener must see that you are deeply compassionate and have a deep desire to help them to move forward gently and firmly, but with diligence and consistency. Realize that the listener is trying to figure things out for themselves. The last thing they need to hear is someone putting down their dreams and goals. You see, if you do not educate yourself, and this is also a decision on what you are designed to go after in life, then the only next step is emotion. Emotions can be self-defeating and irrational. So how do you have compassion without being emotional? Well, having compassion does not mean that you allow your mindset to get out of control and not deal with things in a rational, logical manner that is sequential and allows you to achieve the goal that you are compassionate about. It's like having a deep desire to get to a destination, let's say Chicago. You would need to research the multiple ways you can get there from where you are before you would even start your journey. You will not start out without planning and being organized if you expect to reach your destination successfully. Tactical empathy is a way to get people to understand that you are listening to them and understand how they are feeling. It makes the other individual feel safe and want to share their emotions with you. Statements like, "It seems that you are afraid of blank," or "I would feel that same way if I were in your position," can go a long way to connecting to others and effectively getting rid of the fear and replacing their fears with a logical conclusion for the better. This is an all-important step necessary to empathize not only with ourselves, but with others. You see, while we're helping others, we can also help ourselves. Till next time, praying for your success and wishing you the very best.